For ADHD, technology has to be integrated in such a way to take advantage of the core information we have, but perhaps to utilize it in a more innovative and hopefully more refined way. There are better ways, for instance, of getting information to make diagnosis, including filling out rating scales and forwarding information to physicians that can be based internet, and therefore, because it is that way, can be accessed by individuals from multiple locations so that we can get a more complete picture of the individual's functioning when making a diagnosis. Technology can be used to reach individuals, means families or affected individuals in more remote areas who do not have easy access to the care providers, in order to help make a diagnosis or to help with their care. And this is obviously done by video conferencing or by conferencing over the internet, things of this nature. People also use technology to help aid in diagnosis, and that niche really needs to be defined better than it is at the present time. There are techniques that can be used and have been validated to show that they can be used in ADHD, techniques that are computer-based, looking at things such as reaction time, looking at things such as body movements, looking at things such as brain electrical activity. But what we have to figure out is, what's their niche? Do they have to be used in everyone? Are they a substitute for not educating providers well about how to make the diagnosis, which in my opinion is no, they're not a substitute. But can they be used as an aid in certain circumstances, or when the situation expects it? And the answer was possibly, but that needs to be better defined. You can't let a machine make a diagnosis. We have to make a diagnosis. A machine is not a replacement for a good history and a good physical examination. Number 3 in this area would be the use of technology in order to treat. We know that traditionally our treatments have been based on the use of medications when indicated, as well as educational and behavioral strategies. Now obviously educational and behavioral strategies can be used in a technology standpoint, but people have also offered other kinds of approaches such as the use of neurofeedback. Can you use your mind in order to alter brain electrical activity in such a way to enhance brain performance and diminish or make disappear the features of ADHD? There are studies that have been done that have shown that there's support for this. There are studies that have been done that have shown that there's no support for this. In other words, it works or it doesn't work. And at the present time, it's not a finished topic, although some people may say yes, some people may say no. Research is being done now to give us better answers, but in the meantime, people have to ask questions and have to discuss with their providers whether this is a strategy that can be effective for them. There are some technologies, procedures, where you have to inject things into the body, or you have to potentially expose people to low-grade but still small amounts of radiation. And those technologies, we have to carefully ask questions. Do they really add any value to the individual's care? And in most situations, the answer is probably no, they don't. There's cost attached to all this technology. So we have to say to ourselves, what's the benefit of the technology? What's the risk of that technology? And what's the cost? And does it improve functioning to such a point that the cost now, while it may be more, saves money downstream? If it doesn't do that, and it doesn't really alter the natural history of what's being done, then I would argue that perhaps that technology should not be used. What people best have to do is have to be informed consumers. They have to understand the pros, they have to understand the cons, and get their information from reliable sources. Remember, the internet is not necessarily a reliable source. You have to decide where you go in the internet, whether it gives you information or doesn't.